In the sun-scorched suburbs of Willow Creek, Arizona, where every blade of grass must be exactly 3 inches tall and HOA fines flow faster than the Colorado River, Deborah Vance believed she was the guardian of civilization itself. That illusion shattered the day she called the cops on me for locking the gate to my own swimming pool. She stood there on my property line, pastel suit pressed to perfection, arms folded like she was posing for a power portrait, that signature Karen smirk hidden behind oversized sunglasses. "Officers, he's threatening the HOA board and creating a public hazard," she declared, pointing at me as 2 sheriff's deputies stepped out of their cruiser. The desert wind carried her words like a bad perfume. What Deborah didn't realize was that she was standing on land that had never belonged to her precious HOA. My grandfather's federal land patent from 1947 predated this subdivision by 40 years, and the clause in it made it immune to their little rule book. And I wasn't some clueless homeowner. As a property rights consultant for the county, I lived for moments like this. I smiled back, calm as the still water in the pool behind me. "You might want to check the deed before you arrest the man who can audit your entire operation, Deborah." The officers froze. Her smile faltered for the first time. Before that afternoon, Willow Creek had seemed like the American dream: neat stucco houses, community clubhouse, and that historic pool my grandfather built after the war for everyone to enjoy. No gates, no dues, just kids splashing and neighbors sharing stories under the mesquite trees. He was a Marine too, came home with ghosts and a determination to create something lasting. "Water teaches you to flow with life, son," he'd say. When he passed, the property came to me. I'd traded combat boots for county maps and legal briefs, helping folks fight bureaucratic overreach. Then the subdivision crept in like an invasive species, and along came Deborah Vance, the new HOA president. She showed up the first time while I was repairing the old pool tiles. "No hello, just a finger jab at the fence. This amenity is for dues-paying members only. Your gate is non-compliant." I wiped my hands on my jeans. "Ma'am, this pool was here before your bylaws were even a twinkle in a developer's eye." She took a photo with her tablet, that tight realtor smile never reaching her eyes. "Community standards apply to the entire neighborhood, Mr. Reed. We'll be in touch." That's how it started, with polite threats wrapped in for the greater good. Soon the letters came. Fines for unauthorized maintenance, visual pollution from my natural desert landscaping, demands for $450 annual dues. I sent back certified letters citing the federal patent exemption. Her response? More photos, more citations, and a campaign to turn the neighbors against me. She held court at the community meetings like a queen addressing her subjects. "Uniformity protects our property values," she'd preach, her voice smooth as silk. One guy dared question the cost of mandatory beige paint for all mailboxes. Deborah cut him off with honeyed venom. "Surely you don't want to drag down the entire community, do you?" The crowd murmured agreement. Fear dressed as consensus. Then she escalated. Rumors in the neighborhood Facebook group. "That Reed fellow refuses safety inspections. What is he hiding by his pool?" Anonymous notes in my mailbox. "Spray paint on my fence. Pay up or get out." I documented everything. Every violation notice, every late-night camera installation, she authorized pointing straight at my backyard. A clear breach of privacy laws. The breaking point came one stormy night when my father, confined to a wheelchair after his stroke, had a medical emergency. I rushed to open the side access gate for the ambulance, but found it blocked by fresh concrete barriers and yellow tape. "HOA-approved drainage project," the note said. I called Deborah. "This is blocking emergency access. Remove it now." Her voice was sugar-coated poison. "Safety protocols require proper channels, Marcus. You should have submitted a request form. My father's life is on the line. Then perhaps you should have thought about community compliance earlier." I cut the lock myself as sirens wailed in the distance. Paramedics got through just in time. The next day, she was waiting at my gate again, triumphant. Vandalism of HOA property. Another fine, and this time we're pressing charges. That's when I decided it was time. As county consultant, I had quietly filed for a full financial audit of the Willow Creek HOA weeks earlier, triggered by her repeated attempts to fine a non-member property. The auditors descended like locusts. The emergency board meeting was packed. Deborah sat at the head table, blazer buttoned, confidence cracking at the edges as whispers spread. I stood up, my binder thick as a phone book. "Let's talk about those community standards, Deborah. Like the $38,000 in security upgrades that went to a contractor who happens to be your brother-in-law for a new patio at your house. The projector lit up with bank statements, her signatures glaring. Gasps rippled through the room. "This is a witch hunt," she sputtered. "I'm the one keeping order here." "Order?" I countered, voice low and steady. "Or embezzlement? Those cameras you installed on private property without consent? The fines you levied without jurisdiction? You called the cops on me for my own gate, stood on my patented land, and triggered the very audit that proves you've been treating HOA dues like your personal slush fund." The sheriff, who I'd looped in, stepped forward. "Mrs. Vance, we need to have a conversation downtown." Her face drained of color as cuffs clicked. The woman who weaponized rules was finally bound by real ones. In the months that followed, the HOA was dissolved under county oversight. A new transparent community association took over, with public ledgers and no more petty tyrants. Neighbors started talking to me again. Kids returned to the pool. I kept it open as a gesture, with simple shared maintenance. My father sat by the water one evening, watching the sunset paint the desert gold. "You did good, son. Your grandfather would be proud." Deborah, last I heard, facing charges in a civil suit, her perfect reputation in ruins. The control freak who tried to own what wasn't hers ended up losing control of everything. So here's the question for you. Was Deborah Vance just a dedicated community leader protecting standards, or did her lust for power make her the ultimate HOA villain who got exactly the karma she deserved? True or false? In the end, the person who called the cops on a man's own pool gate was the one who truly abused their authority?